and see. So today's class is about, okay, I'll break when I share the screen. So let me share the screen. Let the screen sharing be done. So yeah. Hmm. So today's class is about two topics, which is float and display. So here Sandeep is here. Great. So yeah, Sandeep, what's up, man? You're late. Fine. We just no problem. We just started the class. So Sandeep, if you could record the class, just go ahead and start doing it. And I call you in the evening actually, for the same purpose, like how's it going with recordings, and I wanted to see the output. Okay, fine. No problem. Just go ahead and start the screen share, Sandeep, if you can. Oh, great. Yeah, sure. Sure, sure, sure. Good to know that. So yeah, let Sandeep start the recording and we'll take from there. So until then, uh, so did you guys log in with your own passwords or the one which is displayed on the website? It doesn't matter as of now. I just put it there because I wanted to invite few people, but it didn't working. Previously, the link, the direct link, used to work like excellently because now there are two steps to join a class. Yeah, now there are two steps. So when there are two steps, people are a bit lazy to use those two steps. The first step is to click on the link, then yeah, you could not, you cannot change the password. I'll give it tomorrow because today I've been working on the emails, like, whatever the emails, I wanted to send emails to all the subscribers first, like to let know that, there's a new website has come up here. Then there was another email for the reminders. And that's what I have done today. I'm working on the back end part, like, wherein I can set up the class as well. Oh yeah, yeah. Take down classroom. What happened? There was a problem. Maybe you have been logged in from a long time. Yeah. So that's okay. Great. Yeah. Fine. So yeah, with Sandeep's ready. Sandeep, are you ready? Shall we go ahead with the class? Okay, fine. This is what we are talking. Like I did not talk anything about the class until now. We just started like the box model. We have the box model. The box model has a margin, border, padding, width, and height. And today's topic is float and display. Now, float. What is float? What's the meaning of float? Guys, have any idea of float? Just English float. Yeah. Any idea? Like a boat floats. So float is like just, yeah, it's like just moving on the top of the surface is floating, like which is like free flow. Okay, now coming to the HTML context, what exactly is a float? So float is nothing but it's a property, it's a rule which makes the content of that particular selector, okay, which makes the content of the particular selector to float horizontally. Okay, like when I stack, okay, we'll better talk this with an experiment, with an example. Okay, float, I'll just type in here makes the content float horizontally. Okay. Yeah, something that doesn't sink or fall. Okay, whatsoever. Right now, let me go back here, and I'm typing a new file here, doc type HTML. Then here's the HTML, and here's the head, and here's the body. So inside the head, let me go ahead and put a title real quick. Title, let's say Tutoslive CSS float. Let's use only float. I'll put a new file for this guy display. So let me just go ahead. Okay, we've been discussing about two tags, the division tags and the span tags. You guys remember what a div tag and a span tag? Let me see your memory. You guys remember what is div and span? Div and span. These two tags. Okay, I'll just explain div and span, and I'll quickly go back. Okay, so div is a block level tag. Okay, most precise is called division. It's called division. Like, people, what people do usually do is, like, use div tags to separate the content. Like, if I want one, as of today, we're using paragraph to separate the contents. Like, but seriously speaking, paragraph is used for only paragraphs. But what if I don't want any paragraphs but pure content? What if I want to stack my images one above the below without using any p tags or any other tags? So div tag is specially made for to stack content one above the other, or just to contain some content. Okay, it's a block level tag, but a span is used for the same purpose, but which is an inline tag. Inline tag, it occupies only the space which is given by the which is occupied the content, whereas block level tag will take the whole of the area or the width. Okay, so today let's go ahead and use div tags. So here I say div and I close div, and I'll put some content here. Hey, this guy says I can float, but I do not know how, as I do not have wings. Let's say I'm just typing some random content just to make some sense. Okay, but I've been waiting here for this guy, and he says I will be joined by my cousin. Let's say just random content. Okay, so I'll name this guy as class equal to first, because this guy has come here first. Okay, so I'm saving this on my desktop in our folder Tutoslive as how we say, I'll say float.html. Okay, now let's go ahead. Oops, what happened to this? Okay, as soon as I save, fine, I save it here. Let's go back to the folder, and where is our float? So here is our float. I'll open this in or Chrome. So just drag and drop will also open the file, right? So this is the content. So hey, this guy says I can float, but I don't know how, as I do not have wings. Okay, so here comes our second guy, class equal to second, and So div is just, just a tag, that's it. It doesn't have any formatting. It can't really format anything, but it's there for, for only when we are trying layouts. Like, okay, layout is any website design. Okay, we use divs and tags because they separate the content. They divide the content. Like, if I want to place this content here, I want to place this content here. So let me use divs. That's how that's what the purpose of divs and spans. Okay, div is a as I said, it's a block level tag. Okay, now hey, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm late. uh, let's float. But is a guy who told you that we can float is here? I don't know, I'm just framing some sentences. I don't know, does it make sense or not? Okay, so see, it's a block level tag because this space is wasted. Wherein, see, you can see it here. That space is wasted since div is a block level tag. And even if I type something another div here also, it doesn't, it makes the same thing, block level tags. Okay, so any questions here until now? So div tag is just to use to make some layouts. That's what you remember. You guys remember that. Okay, from now onwards we won't be using any paragraphs, any bolds, ins, anything. We'll be using only divs and spans and use CSS to format them. This is the scenario from now onwards. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now what I've tried to do is like, where is this guy? So let's style them. So the first guy, let him have a background as what do we give? Let me give orange. I don't know, orange, is this orange or not? I'm just saying. And for the second guy, let's just reverse. I always, whenever I don't have any idea for the colors, what I do is like I just reverse them like this, CF CF. Okay, let's see what happens here. This is not the color I'm looking for. So let's use some lower shades. Let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and here 6 5 4 3 2 1. Let's see. Yeah, this sounds great. And let's give the whole of the body here a color white. Yeah, this makes sense. But you can see here div tag has no margin bottom, unlike the paragraph tag, unlike the h1 tag, the other tags. There is no margin bottom here. There's only a margin. I guess this isn't even margin. It has zero margin. So let's see the computer. See, you can see here there are no margins, no border, no padding, nothing. There's nothing default. But you guys can see some few gaps here. That's for the body. Actually, the body has a default margin, so that's why there's a gap between the corners and this thing. But when considering the div tag, it has nothing. So that's the reason div tag is extensively used for layouts, because it doesn't have any default properties or default margins, padding, or any sort of stuff. Okay, so now let's just go ahead here and say the first guy has a margin. Now the first guy has a margin of 10 pixels, and even the second guy has a margin of 10 pixels. And let us give some padding too, that makes them a little beautiful. I'll say 5 pixel is the padding, and even this guy has a 5 pixel padding. So let's just go here and just refresh. Yeah, this is pretty good. Now let's give a width also. So since these guys are two guys, so I'll give 45% of width to each of these. Great, 45% works good. And now let's say Let us do one more thing here. Let's give a border to these guys. Border, let's say 1 pixel, solid, and let's give a red background for these guys. So, so I'm just copying here, saying you can also give the I mean, I'm used to this kind of giving the CSS styles, but this is a better way. Like, you can separate them, not just write them in a single line. You can give them in multiple lines too. There's no problem whatsoever if you give them in multiple lines too. Okay, that's not a problem at all. You can go ahead and give them in multiple lines too. So I was very habituated to these kind of stylings. Like, I like very less code. That's the primary reason why I use in all single lines. I don't want the files to be occupied more space. Okay, so let's see. The border is 1 pixel, doesn't look so good. So let me just increase it to some around 3 pixels. 3 pixels sounds good, but the border is not at all. Yeah, red, or let's give black. Black is fine. It's fine for me. Maybe it look good if it's black. So yeah, black is fine, no problem. So now this is a box model. Until now, this is our box model. Now let's go ahead and see how a float can be applied. Before we go to float, I'll give the syntax to you guys. Selector, any selector, tag, id, class, whatsoever. Then float property. What are the possible values for this? The default is none. Then there is right, and there is left. Okay, so this is how a float tag syntax lies. It says none. As of now, these guys are not floating at all. These guys are staying where they are. Okay, this is the first div tag, this is the second div tag, so there's nothing over there, just plain tags. They're not floating yet. So now let's go ahead and say this guy uh, this guy floats left. Okay, see, the first is the first, so I'll just type in here first. I'm representing the first div as hash1 and the second div as hash2, and we go here and I gave the first guy as float left. Okay, so it's a bit confusing now, because this guy, actually what exactly happened now is the second div tag, we take here the second div tag. The second div tag has pushed to the front. Okay, it's now pushed to the front, but okay, let's do one more thing here. Instead of giving this guy as float left, I'll give this guy to be also float, since we told like these two guys float together. So yeah, now you see these two guys are floating. So float is nothing but pushing the content horizontally towards what is the direction I given. Now this time I have given float to the left. So the first guy, this is the first guy. Okay, what he has done is like he's floating on the left side first. Now the next guy was beyond this. It was stacked just beyond this, behind this particular div tag. So it's trying to float towards the left side, but there is already a div tag on the left side. So this guy gets pushed towards right, but still this is floating on the left side. Okay, so I'm using float tag, float property to stack them side by side. If you can see that, I'm using them to stack side by side. Okay, now let's do one more thing here. I'll just go ahead and give another guy. This guy is third. So what I do is like I type some random content. This time I'm running out of ideas what to just put there. So I go to lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum is a famous like dummy content. So lorem have some. So I take this paragraph here. I'll copy here. Oops, I copied it in a different place. Here is the right place. Now let's go back here. So the first two, these two guys are floating now. Let's see what happens to the third guy. So where is the third guy? The third guy is somewhere hiding behind these guys. Okay, so what happening is like these guys are like detached from the web page, okay, and they're pushed to the I can't say top, like since there are only two things here, they're pushed actually. Okay, they're just floating on the top of the web page now, and the last content, whatever the content, the other content which is there, okay, is starting from here, right from here. Actually, this particular content which is not seen by us is there. I'll show you how to display that particular thing. So I just paste more of the content and come back here. Oh, since this is white, I'm sorry. So wait, since this is white, let's do one more thing here. Let's say background, let's say pink. I don't know how pink looks like on the background. Yeah. Oops, I'm sorry. So can you guys spot it? Oops. Can you guys see it? The pink color? White on pink? Yeah? Yes? No? Or I can do one more thing. Let's say for the third guy. I gave a black background color over there. Okay, yeah, this is better. Now you can see here, this guy is floating, this guy is floating. So this place is occupied by these two guys, and the third one is starting from the second guy. Okay, can you guys see it? Like actually, this guy must start from here, somewhere from here, but you know it is also getting pushed to the like the bottom of this particular guy, this div tag. Okay, so even it's trying to occupy that place where this guy has left. Actually, technically speaking, the second div must be occupying this place, but since there is no content over there, this guy got pushed. So what float is doing is like it's just getting detached from the web page and floating on the top of the web page, and what are the content which is like which is down it, which is underneath that particular content, is getting pushed until edge of that content. You can see here this is third div and it's getting over there. Now how do we avoid this? I don't want that. I want them to be aligned properly. So for that purpose, float has a sister tag called clear. So what this does is like, hey, these two guys are floating, so just clear whatever underneath it, underneath. Oh man, I'm just losing it. Whatever just under it, that's under. Okay, so whatever there is below, it gets cleared and reserves that space for these two guys who are floating actually, then pushes the next content below it. Okay, so we'll just see a technical example. So no need to worry about anything. Float, just remember that float is used to stack side by side. Okay, whatever the direction it can be, but to stack something side by side, yeah, I'll say float. Okay, so what if the floating elements have a different sizes? So if they have a different sizes, then there will be a problem. Like such, we are saying here, since they are of different sizes, that's the problem. Okay, now if I give the same sizes, let's say if I give the same sizes, I'll copy this guy here and I'll say I'll paste it here, and let's see what happens. See here, since this is float left, okay, so it's starting from the left. I mean, it's not anomaly, but what if I say right? Okay, I said right. Now you can see here this thing. The first one is floating towards right side, towards this direction, and the next one is following it actually. Okay, so that's what the float does, like float left and float right. Now this time this is float right, that's the reason this is floating towards right side, and this guy is following. Now let me do one more thing here. Instead of the width 45% here, I give 55% to the first guy, and you can see here, so I give 55% and this guy is 45%, and these two guys are floating now. Okay, since this 45% cannot be afforded here, it pushed to the bottom, and the next content is starting from here. So this guy is just occupying the space left over by these two floating guys. This looks like a kind of weird design, like there is something here, then there is a content here. So to avoid this, okay, to avoid this kind of situation, there is one more property called clear. Okay, then clear has left, right, both. So what does this clear do? I mean, the same syntax, like selector, clear left, right, and both. So clear left says, like, whenever there are things which are floating on the left side, use clear left on the bottom tag which is not floating. Okay, whenever they are floating right, use clear right. Whenever you don't have any idea what the designer gives, just clear both. So it means, like, hey, these guys are floating, just clear both sides. No matter if they are floating right or floating left, just clear them both. Now let's see. So the third guy is occupying the space left over by these two first and second. So what I do here is I go here and say clear. This time this is right, they are floating right. So I say clear right. Now you can see here, it does not put anything over here. It cleared everything from here and pushed the content to its own place where it's supposed to be there. It's supposed to be here. Alright? Any questions here? Any confusion? So float makes it float, clear clears the content which is beside those. Above clear? Right. So if I don't use clear, what happened previously? The content is here. The content was just here. I don't have a pointer here. I can't point, but you can see the cursor here. Okay, this particular place was occupied by this guy because they left some place over there. They're just like detached. Floating elements are like detached. Okay, so what it does, okay, there is some gap here, let me fill it. That's what this guy has done before. Now I said, like, please don't use that space. It looks like kind of odd for me, so just clear it. Don't let anybody use it. Clear it and push the content to the next particular line. That's what clear does. Now what I do is, like, I say here one guy to be right and one guy to be the left. Okay, so let's see what happens. Now you see, this guy is left floating, this guy is right floating, and this is clear right. I don't use any clear, let's say. For now, let's just take off the clear. Now you see here, since this is a gap left over by this guy, so it started from there. Then this is the gap left over by this guy and starting from there. So it's kind of weird design, right? Right, exactly. It's used on images. It's used on images. It's used on navigation links. We'll see example, but this is about clear. So if you guys are clear on clear, I can go ahead. So you guys are clear on clear? So clear is just okay, awesome. So that is what it's doing over there. So let's say again, let's come back to uh, clear. So instead always give clear both. I mean on the benefit of the, oh,